Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the mysterious one coming at you with your raw review, and I must say it was one of the greatest raws of all time that I have seen in a long time. With Roman Reigns, the returning Roman Reigns, and the epic epic segment, last segment with Batista. It was just awesome, and WWE needs to keep it up. That way, the ratings can keep going up because it was a great show. It was awesome. I must commend the WWE for putting on such a fabulous show. And and they were coming from Atlanta, Georgia, to this week. They were coming from Atlanta, Georgia, where Roman Reigns on the first segment came out. There was a big pop for him. Also, there should have been, and it was so emotional, and he was soaking everything in, and he was thanking his fans, and he was saying how excited he was that he was back and that he was in remission. I was so happy for him, and I'm glad that he came out and just to say that he was in remission. I'm glad he didn't have a match on Raw. And I do not want to see him at WrestleMania because he doesn't need to be. There's no storyline for him. He doesn't need to be inserted in WrestleMania. WrestleMania is going to be a good show. It always is in itself. They don't need Roman Reigns to boost the ratings. Although he is a ratings grabber, and it was great that he was on Raw addressing his leukemia. Very good segment. Very emotional, exciting segment. The fans were just loving him. He didn't get one boo. Great. Now he's over with the fans. Now I'm hoping that that's not this will continue for him, and I'm hoping that he has a great career. And I'm hoping that he continues to get better. Get better. And so he did it. He was saying how it's our yard now and not his, and all that good stuff. He was just so happy and excited, and how he was fighting with his insecurities and fears for sharing his leukemia before, because he didn't know how the fans would react. Of course they were going to react. How else would the fans react? With love and sympathy and rooting for him all the way. And we still are rooting for him all the way. And we do love him. We love Joe Anoa'i. I can never pronounce his last name. Joe Anoa'i. Roman Reigns is his character, but Joe Anoa'i, I can never pronounce his last name, but close enough. That's who we love. That's who we respect. And so he said it's important to use his platform to support the people who are going through what he's going through. And you know what? He's a great role model, and he should be he should have that platform to represent and help people who are going through leukemia or any kind of cancer, but especially leukemia, because that's what he was going through, and he's still going through. And Seth Rollins, as he was leaving, Seth Rollins came out, gave him a big hug. That's his brother, of course, brother from another mother, but that's his brother. And anyway, all power to Roman Reigns, to Joe Anoa'i. Welcome back. And then the first match of the night was Aleister Black, who comes out with Ricochet. No, who comes out first, and then Ricochet comes out. I thought Ricochet and Aleister Black was going to have a match, but no. It was they were teaming together against the Revival, and they beat the Revival. Again, the Revival gets buried. The Raw Tag Team Champions getting buried. What is the WWE thinking? Why are they doing this to them? Why? How could they bury the WWE Champions? How could they 2 weeks in a row let the NXT guys beat them? Why? Because they have to get the NXT over. Why couldn't they use somebody else? Just shoot They could have had the dissension go against them or something like that, you know. But why the Raw Tag Team Champions? That makes them look so bad. Oh my God. I don't think the WWE thinks. I don't think Vince McMahon thinks. He's senile anyway. He's old. And backstage, Baron Corbin was being interviewed, and they asked Charlie Caruso, I believe she was interviewing him, and asked him or reminded him how he made fun of Roman Reigns' leukemia when he was a Raw manager, and how he didn't want Roman Reigns back. And he said, no, that is okay. First he tried to deny it. Then he said, you know what? I was under a lot of pressure because I was the Raw manager. And yeah, okay. So being the Raw manager is more important than what Roman Reigns was going through. So it gave him the right to make fun of him for an illness. Nice, really nice, Corbin. And then he has the nerve to say, oh, Roman Reigns just better not cross my path. Yeah, why? Because he's going to knock your head off when he sees you? Yeah, because that's what's going to happen. You have no chance against Roman Reigns. And then, excuse me. Then we were going to as we were going to walk with Elias, Lacey Evans comes with a beautiful dress, all pretty and as usual, and strutting her stuff to and from the ring. That's all she does. She's not about anything. I don't know why she's at the. Is that why they called her to the main roster? Just because of her looks. That must be it, because they're not doing nothing for her. They're really not. But anyway, then she went to the back. Then Elias was in the ring, and he said that he wanted to sing a little song for Atlanta, Georgia. And then Ambrose came to the ring. He said that he wanted a rematch with Drew McIntyre, a no disqualification match. So then he went into the ring and said, but I'm a big fan of yours, Elias, and I would like you to play me some tunes. Maybe you know Temple of the Dog or Night Ranger, Night Ranger, Thunderstruck, or is it time for Dirty Deeds? And Elias said, oh, I was just going to sing a little song, not for these wonderful people in Georgia, saying how they make it to the Super Bowl, but they do not win. They do not win. And he said, but he could play about it almost anything. And then he was going to hit Ambrose in the back with his guitar. And then Ambrose ducked it and did Dirty Deeds. So I guess it was time for Dirty Deeds. And he left him laying as the Riot Squad was coming in to face Natalya and Ronda Rousey. Unfortunately, that match did not happen because Becky Lynch came or tried to come to the ring, but this time the security guards and even the police officers were there to stop her and arrest her and escort her out of the ring. And she said, she was saying, oh, don't put careful with the cuffs, don't put them so tight. They have to hold the WWE Championship and everything like that. So she's officially out of WrestleMania for now, as of right now. And then Ronda Rousey was so pissed off. She said, I'm tired of this, and she called out Vince McMahon. But who came out was Stephanie. And she said, I understand where you're coming from. I understand how angry you are. But because Ronda Rousey requested that Becky Lynch be reinstated and inserted into the match with with Charlotte Flair and Ron and herself, and Stephanie McMahon said, "No, I cannot grant you that because Becky Lynch is was arrested and she's going to be spent her time in jail." So and then she started to demand Stephanie McMahon for the reinstatement of Becky Lynch, and she said, "You are not above the WWE," like basically saying what she says goes. And then she said, "Okay, so I cannot represent your company," Ronda says, if it's going to be like this. Vince McMahon has to do the right thing." And there she put the Raw Women's Championship at Stephanie's feet. And that was that for that. I don't know if that means she relinquished the title or what is going on there, because now the women's main event at WrestleMania is kind of up in the air. We don't know what's going on with that deal after she did that. But that was that for that. So then Kurt Angle had a match with Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal was in the ring stating that how come he said, how come he wasn't invited to Ric Flair's birthday? Because Ric Flair didn't do anything. Ric Flair has done more than than Jinder Mahal will ever do. Jinder Mahal has done nothing but fail. He's a failure. He's a loser. Ric Flair is a 16-time champion. And Ric Flair's up here. Mahal is way down in the bottom. And he'll always stay that way. He'll never be in the caliber of Ric Flair. So I don't know what he's talking about. So anyway, there was a match between Kurt Angle and Jinder Mahal, in which Kurt Angle beat him by submission. And then the Sin brothers got in the ring, and Angle took care of them too. Good riddance to bad rubbish. That's what I would say. And there was a moment of bliss with her guest Finn Balor, the Intercontinental Champion, and she was flirting with him, and she said that you should take the belt off from around your waist. Is hiding your abs. And he said, "Oh, you want to make me blush?" Like they were flirting with each other. Maybe they're gonna have a love thing going there. But anyway, at that moment, the Leo Rush came out and said to Finn Balor that he doesn't deserve to be Intercontinental Champion, and that champion should be Bobby Lashley. Now that's getting old, isn't it? That is really getting old. Leo Rush needs to give that a rest. Finn Balor is the Intercontinental Champion. So Finn Balor said, "Oh," using reverse psychology, he said, "Oh, so you want to challenge me for the Intercontinental Championship? I don't blame you. You deserve it." And he said, "How about today? Yes, we're going to have a match today." And Leo said, "No, that's not what I'm here for," and this, that, and the third. And then he said, "But I'm not ready. And then I'm going to go to the back and get ready." Okay. And then Alexa Bliss, which I didn't know. I don't know why she got involved. It's none of her business, but I didn't know she booked matches, but apparently she does. Because she said, "But you don't have time to change. Your match starts right now." Leo Rush's music goes on, and he's already in his tights. He came out in his tights. So obviously he was ready for a match. That was planned. And Leo Rush's music came, and he went in the ring. And then Finn Balor's music comes on, and he hits the ring. They wrestle a great match. Leo Rush had a lot of talent, but we don't give him enough credit because of his loud mouth. But he really has a lot of talent in that ring. And part of the match, Finn Balor tweaked his knee. But even though he tweaked his knee, he was able to still continue the match, and it was a great the great match that they had, and did defeat um, Lio Rush. It was great. I didn't expect Lio Rush to beat Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. I Come on, Lio Rush to represent any kind of type of any type of championship would be terrible. Finn Balor is remains champion as it should be. Anyway, um, after that, after that, after that, after that match, Bobby Lashley um, was would be was going to face Braun Strowman, but before he came to the ring backstage, he chastised Lio Rush, saying, and he wanted to know if he's got his back. In which Lio Rush responded that of course he's got his back. Of course he's got his back. He can't win with a damn against Balor, but he did have his back. He did have Lashley's back. And then backstage, the Dissension was talking smack to Tucker, one half of the Heavy Machinery, saying, "Whoa, where's your partner? Where's your partner? Otis, is he dumpster diving for a cheeseburger? He looks like a bowling ball," and things like that. So he was disrespecting him left and right. And Tucker said, "Oh, he's not gonna like this. You better take what you said back because he's not gonna like this." Oh, I just love the Heavy Machinery. They're so animated and they're so funny, especially Otis. Then Otis comes out and he said, "What's going on? What's going on?" And Tucker said and told him what the Dissension was saying about him, and he said, "Oh yeah," and then he shoulder blocked both of them, and they hit the floor, and he said, "That's what you get for messing with Heavy Machinery. They are so comedic." I guess they were brought into the main roster for comedic purposes, just like Lacey Evans came to the main roster for eye candy. Okay, so that's that for that. So that's good, and and then, excuse me, and then Bobby Lashley was gonna face Braun Strowman, and then Braun had beat Bobby Lashley and both Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, so the match was thrown away. So that's that for that. It was a garbage match anyway, so whatever. Bathroom break match. And that was the end. Yes, Seth Rollins said that he promised at WrestleMania to defeat Brock Lesnar, but right now but tonight it's about celebration because his brother Roman Reigns is back, and he knows that Roman Reigns has a cold beverage for him. I know what that is, and he's gonna celebrate with his brother, his great return. And Drew McIntyre went against Ambrose in a no DQ match, which McIntyre won because Elias because of Elias and Corbin and Lashley interfering. They gang up on Ambrose and start beating him up and start kicking his butt, and then out comes Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins to save him. And Roman Reigns did a Superman punch, and it was like he looked like he was in great shape. I didn't think he needed to be in any kind of action, but that's what happened. So he saved Dean Ambrose. Then before the commercial, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins looked at Dean Ambrose in the ring, and So that gave me a thought that maybe the Shield was gonna be reunion. There's gonna be a Shield reunion soon. Um, that would be great because that's great. That's great ratings. Shield is always great ratings. But there should be a Shield reunion. That's what I think. Together they gel great. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. Bailey was going to face Nia Jax for some reason. I have no idea. I bet you next week Tamina will be facing Sasha Banks. That's how they do it. I don't understand that. And it was announced that Tamina and Nia Jax, Tamina Snuka and Nia Jax was going to face Sasha Banks and Bailey for the tag team championships. Now, why do they deserve it? I don't know. They did nothing to earn that title opportunity, but it's all I don't know. It's all it must be a political thing. They want to keep the Samoans on top. That's why they pushed Roman Reigns in the past. But I guess. But I would have loved to see Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville face Sasha Banks and Bailey. That would have made more sense. But that's not going to happen, unfortunately. The Samoan girls, Nia Jax and Tamina, are going to face Bailey and Sasha at Fastlane. Anyway, Bailey beat Nia Jax with a big elbow from the top rope. It was great. So at that point, there was a video. All the superstars were gathered outside at the arena, and Stephanie McMahon and Triple H went to the ring, and they did a great video package about the Nature Boy and all his accolades and all his accomplishments through the years, which were awesome and were many. He was one of the greatest heavyweight champions and wrestling entertainers of all time. Him and Hogan, I believe, they were the top. And so outcomes. Then they announced the wrestlers that from the past that came to celebrate. There was Shawn Michaels, Sting, and Ricky Steamboat that came out to the ring with them, and then the Ric Flair's music comes out, hits, and we were expecting Ric Flair to come out, but then they showed in the back how Batista, yes, I said it, you heard it right, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Batista is back, and he dragged the cameraman, and he dragged him into and he told him to stay towards Ric Flair's dressing room. He told him to stay out there, and then he beat him. He beat Ric Flair up, dragged him out by his blazer, and left him lying there. And he said to Triple H, "Have your attention." And then he said to Triple H, "Do I have your attention now, Hunter?" So I don't know. He got some kind of beef with Hunter Helmsley, with Triple H, and I don't know what, because I mean the last time we saw him was at the SmackDown 1000 episode, and with Evolution, and he was a big part of Evolution with Ric Flair, Triple H, and Randy Orton. And I don't understand this heel turn. I mean, it was great. It's great to see him as a heel, but why turn on Ric Flair, and why is he having beef with Triple H? That is the question. But it would be a great WrestleMania match, wouldn't it? We will soon find out. And then the show basically faded to black, and it ended like that. Like I said, this was an epic show with epic. It was an epic start to epic finish, and WWE should keep doing this, keep up their good work. They did great this week, and it made everybody look good, and please don't forget. And this concludes my Raw review. Please stay tuned tomorrow for my SmackDown review. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you and have a good day. See you, peeps.